It's at every game. It's at every hotel. It's there. So if we not worried about that, it's plentiful. So it's like, all right, my guy, just be safe.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Be
Of
safe.
course.
But yeah, the poetry of it, man. Listening to Mike talk, um, it's a beautiful thing. If I were you, I would tell no. If I were me, I would tell you to watch the interview he has with Sugar Ray Leonard.
When was it? When was that interview? How long ago did they make it?
7 months to a year ago.
Oh, so relatively recent.
7 months to like a year ago. Him and Sugar Ray are sitting down and they're having a conversation.
Uh-huh.
He tells him like, "Yo, you and Muhammad Ali are." I think he said, him and Muhammad Ali, or just him, was a reason why he boxed. He said, "Because you were beautiful." He said he was a beautiful boxer. He said that there was no. He said, "Ray, it was nothing like you, man." And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Ray starts to open up about his life. He starts to talk about his life, and then Mike starts to get emotional, and then he goes into. You gotta check it out though.
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
think if there's anything else that you're gonna check out as far as the podcast goes, or you get on YouTube, you have to check that out. And
I will.
Tyson, when he gets emotional, it comes out because he can't talk. His voice gets it gets weak and everything. So
Yeah.
he's choking. You know what I mean? Like he's dealing with his emotions. But it's crazy, man. That's a guy I just wouldn't fuck with, man. He's
But
just
you know what I think is interesting is that like I think he's the kind of dude that if you were in a situation where you're having a conversation with him, like he would be as honest as they come too. You know what I mean? Like and it, like I just I don't know. Maybe I'm naive to believe that, but just based on everything I've ever seen about that dude, like I don't think I actually don't think he's I don't think there's anything to fear there because if you ever meet like well for me because if I ever met that dude I would just be kind of like you're a pretty inspiring motherfucker. Like
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
when I saw him the one time I briefly saw him, like
Um,
you looked at him and it was just like you understood because I grew up around guys that were like Mike, and you looking at him and you going, yeah, you don't fuck with nobody like that.
right.
You just don't fuck with him. You know what I mean? And if you're that stupid, then you're gonna get what's coming to you. But hearing
You
him talk, huh?
not the same level, not the same level. But do you know who used to sit behind me in English class when I was in high school? Kevin Ferguson, aka Kimbo Slice.
Really?
Yeah, really, really, really. I went to school with Kevin Ferguson,
Wow.
right? And like, and he was a beast in high school, right? And I did not know, and I was friendly with the dude. You know what I mean? Like we used to crack jokes in class together. Like there's, and people were afraid of him, and like I didn't fear him because I knew he could crush me. So there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like so there's no reason for me to fear somebody that I know stands on a different level than where I'm standing, right? And I always felt that way. Like I didn't fear the dude when a lot of other people feared him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so for that reason, like actually he and I kind of joked around and he was kind of somebody that we would cut up in class together, right?
Yeah.
And actually it was really funny, but I remember specifically like I've never been like a big UFC or like I like boxing but I don't particularly care for some of the mixed martial arts like I prefer like just straight like if it's going to be kickboxing is okay or if it's going to be boxing it's all right but I never really got into UFC and I remember kind of when he blew up I didn't really realize until I was reading a newspaper story like I would see his picture and he looked different like he didn't have a big bushy beard when he was in what 11th grade you know what I'm saying like so I remember like reading this article and like I would hear this name Kimbo Slice all the time and this is like 10 years ago like rest in peace Kimbo Slice but um
It's like,
um and I remember just reading an article one time and I was like Kimbo Slice and in parentheses next to it the name Kevin Ferguson and I was like and I knew he was from Miami so suddenly I realized like holy shit, I got to go back and Google this, right? And then I like immediately pieced it together. Like, oh, he was at my, like, I went to the same, I went to high school with this guy. Like, this is the same
Did he
guy.
play sports back in high school?
Yeah, of course. He played football.
Football. Okay.
And you know who else went to school with us? Rowan Marley.
Who?
Rowan Marley, Bob Marley's son.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley's son, Rowan, yeah.
Shit, man.
The one who was married to Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rowan Marley was there too. So all these people were at the same high school in South Miami in 1991, 92.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah. So when you see, those people that can eat you, there's an old joke. There's this old joke I remember. It was on Saturday Night Live many years ago, right? And somebody was supposed to be Frank Sinatra, and somebody else was supposed to be Billy Idol, right? And Billy Idol's kind of acting like a punk, and the guy who's Frank Sinatra looks at him. He's like, "Calm down. I got chunks of guys bigger than you in my stool." Like the point being, like, there's always a bigger shark in the sea than you.
Yeah.
And like,
say it that way. Woo.
It is a joke. It was a joke, but like I always thought of that, like when you fucking with other people, remember, even when I was a kid, like I don't fuck with anybody now, but now this is not in good nature. But like that always occurred to me, and like seeing people like that and knowing people like Kevin Ferguson definitely put that in context.
Yeah. Like I said, man, growing up, you see a lot of it, and the difference of for me growing up, like you could tell who was who, right? And if it wasn't just about looking at the person, it was the actions of the person. They carry themselves with a certain amount of respect. And the guy who wasn't really talking about what he was talking about was always loud, just loud for no fucking reason, right? Like they was always boasting and bragging about something, right? Because there were insecurities the whole time. But if you pressed them, a certain percentage of them, they always folded up. They always folded up like a lawn chair. They always folded up. And I would sit there and look at him like, why would you even go out your way to do that, knowing that you could get yourself hurt? You just want to be the biggest. You just want to be the loudest person in the room for no reason.
Well, it's the insecurity thing, man.
But that's the insecurity about it, right? Like you're wrestling with that. But from listening to the older guys that would tell me, it was like, don't ever be like that. Always be the quietest person.
Right.
Say nothing. If you don't have nothing to say, say nothing. You say because people will respect that. If you don't have nothing to say, you don't say nothing. And you only speak when you need to speak or when you're spoken to. That's it. And you would watch how they carry themselves, how they would move, and you were like, yo, like, I get it. I get it. And then you would see how the clowns do it, and you see how they boop, 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 boop. They gotta have a whole circus going on. And you're like, oh, I get it now. I get it. But yeah, salute to Mike Tyson. God bless the dead, Kimbo Slice. I know that was kind of different when you saw him. Like, yo, I went to high school with this fucking guy.
Dude, like it was kind of shocking. It was for real, like, and then like the funny thing is, like, of course, because he became an identity, right? Like, so he always had kind of like that, like how he appeared, like didn't he always have like a chain around his neck, and like, but even in high school, he had a presence, not an identity, a presence.
Jorge Masvidal is from down there too, correct?
Is it? I don't know.
He's another UFC fighter, and you don't pay attention to UFC, but he's another dude that was backyard brawler,